The next thing I think that will be useful for you guys is to explain the usage of Elementor, the plugin Elementor itself, and how that's used to manage and customize your website. So once you log into your site, and if you go to visit your site and go to any page on your website, you'll notice this black bar over here. In that black bar, you'll be able to click on this button, Edit with Elementor. Now let me explain a little about this area over here so you understand what the various features are and how you go about editing all of this stuff. So if you click on a module and then click on these dots over here, it allows you to edit that particular section. What will happen when you do that is this bar will come up over here on the left hand side. You'll be able to adjust the layout and the various options within the layout. You'll also be able to adapt the style. For example, this is the image over there. You'll be able to select from a gradient, an image, or a background of video. You can also select the position of text, stuff like that. The advanced tab is not one you'll use too often unless you want to increase or decrease the padding, and that is the space in between items. So you can also add new sections by clicking the plus icon over here. What that will do is add a new section in there. You'll be able to click the plus icon there when you want to add a new section. Then select what kind of a layout you want. So let's say we want this layout. You've got some 3 bars over here. You'll be able to click these dots over here and then drag and drop elements such as that to start setting up various modules or new areas on your website. So you can create as many sections as you want. So I'm just going to delete this section for now. And I'm going to start by just showing you the options for this particular section here. So you can change the structure as you can see there. Right now we've got 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. These 2 on the side are providing a little bit of padding so that this text doesn't get extended past that area in case it's a very long sentence. And the way you edit text is very, very simple. It's a very visual method of editing a website. So all you need to do is click there and edit just like you would. It's a visual inline editor. And you can change various bits and pieces by clicking on them. For example, I've clicked on the button. I can change the type of button, what that button says, and what I want to link to with that button. Just like I can when I click on that text there, I can change various elements. And of course, I forgot to mention, if I click on the button and go to the next tab over here, I can change the actual style, which includes the background color and various other visual elements of that there. So that's a brief introduction on editing things with Elementor. And as you can see, I can click on any section, edit text, edit style, or even remove that section or add a new section in between here and there and starting from scratch. So that's just a very brief general overview of how this Elementor plugin works. You can also copy and paste things, such as right click on a button, I'll copy that and say I want to paste that button over here. Or I can copy that button, copy the button and paste not the button but paste the style of that button. Now what that will do is take whatever that is there, but it will paste the visual elements of that thing. I can also press Ctrl Z or Command Z on my keyboard if you're using a Mac to get rid of anything you've done, just like you would in Microsoft Word. Paste style, there we go. So it's very, very cool. It's very user friendly. And you can use that to start editing various modules, or you can create new modules on your own. So that's just a very basic overview of how to use Elementor. And that should give you a lot of the tools you need already to start messing around and using a little bit of trial and error. And don't worry, because you can always go back to the previous state if you wanted to, if you make a mistake. So please feel free to mess around and use trial and error. If you're not confident on the home page, go to any other page on your website and you can do the same thing. So you can go to any other page on your website that's currently existing, or you can create a new page So let's try projects, for example. Edit with Elementor. And you can use the exact same process, a little bit of trial and error to get a feel for it. And within about 10 to 15 minutes, you'll start to become quite comfortable. But if you have any questions about that so far, let me know in the comments. But let's get into now setting up the homepage module by module. So like I said, I'm going to start with editing the homepage, and let's start with editing the top hero area that you see at the top of the homepage. So what I'm going to do is click on that module, click on these little dots over here. What that will do is open up the left-hand side edit menu. What I'm going to do is go to style, and what we can do is actually insert a new image if we wanted to. So we can delete that one and add a new image. We can select an image from the media library that's already there, or we can upload a file from the computer if you've got an image. And here's a little tip. Go to unsplash.com. It's a collection of free, royalty-free photography, and it has some beautiful images there that you can use. So just type in a keyword and you'll be able to find something pretty cool. Download for free to your computer. So I'll save that. And now let me just go to upload files, select files. And I'm just going to look for that file that I downloaded. When you select a file, it will upload. Just wait for a couple of seconds and you'll be able to insert that media to your website. And there we are. So as we can see now, the image is also not just the image itself, it's overlaid with the darker texture so that the writing is highly contrasted against it so it's easy to read. That's the original image there, but this has a dark overlay. You can also change that by going to background overlay and increasing or decreasing the opacity. And you can also select the color of that particular background overlay if you would like to. So that's how you can add an image to the background. And so if I update that and then go to visit my website, let's see what that looks like. There we go, that's already looking very, very cool. Now I'm going to take this a step further. Instead of just an image, I'm going to create an additional module and keep it there to show you what we're able to do when we upload a video. So there we go, I've duplicated that entire section by right-clicking and clicking duplicate. So now I've maintained all of the style and all of that stuff, but all I want to do is give you another demonstration of what's possible. What I'll do is click here, I'll go to those dots, I'll go to style, and now the background type at the moment is classic, and it is this image. I'm just going to delete this image for now. I'm going to select a background type of video. And what this allows you to do is enter a video link which will display a video, a dynamic moving video as the top header banner for your website, and it will look absolutely fantastic if you choose the right video. So I've found a video on YouTube here that's slightly entertaining. So what I'm going to do is grab that URL and I'm going to paste that URL in here and just let that do its thing. So as you can see, the video has started playing. I can also select the start time, so let's say 55 seconds in, and an end time if you would like to. You can also add a fallback for the video if the video doesn't load. For example, sometimes on mobiles videos don't load, so you can also add an image in place of that if you would like to. Perfect. Let me just check if I want to change anything in the advanced slide. It should be okay. layout. Okay, I won't change anything there. All I'm going to do is click update. And let's refresh to check it out. One other thing to mention, if you don't enter an end time, it won't actually loop. So what we'll do also is enter an end time, let's say 80 seconds. And that video should loop over and over again. Now if I go into the background overlay section, you'll see that there is an overlay in front of the video. That's why the video is a little dark. So you can change the opacity of that to make that even clearer if that suits your video and your homepage. So we'll do that. Let's update that and refresh. One thing to note though is that the video, if it's on top of your website, it sometimes interferes with this banner if it's a YouTube video particularly. So I recommend that if you've got a video, you upload it onto your website as a video file, and all of this stuff won't interrupt. You won't get this black bar. What you'll get is a beautiful looking light menu bar that you would have seen before with the video in the background. But of course, this is just an example. For now, what I'm going to do is just move the video down the page a little and move this image up the top. The way to do that is if I right click and go to Navigator, I can actually just drag and drop the first section for it to become the second section, and therefore the second becomes the first, and that's what's happened right here. And that is the way that you can start arranging your website. You can also make the video appear in a certain portion of your website. For example, if I want this module to be bigger, I can then go to these tabs over here, drag and drop the video module, click on that, and then all I need to do is paste my video link, set the start time, set the end time, and now we've got this beautiful video sitting in our screen. We can also make that autoplay. We can also mute that if you wanted to not play the music. It's completely up to you. So it's up to you how you want to arrange that. Obviously, it's all about personal preference. Alright guys, let's finish off the homepage. If you scroll down, you'll be able to do a few things. You can actually copy or duplicate a particular section if you like the layout of that, so then you can clone that. You can delete anything you don't need. You can add new modules and just drag and drop them from all the modules available in this area here, and you've got quite a few to choose from depending on what kind of a structure you want to your site and what kind of information you want to put on there. You can choose from a whole range of content elements, as you can see here. Very, very cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down a little. I'm just going to add a new section here. Let's say I want full width section. I'm going to click on the dots over here so I can drag in a heading perhaps and put in some text. I can align that. I can also adjust the size of that heading. When I go to style, I can also assign the text color and any shadows and font that I want to change. What else can I do? Let's see. I might also put in some text under that heading. If I click on that, I can adjust this text. Of course I can align that as well. If I click on that there, I should see the ability to align that. And then let's go to style. So that's already center aligned. I can change the color if I want to. And if I want to increase the space in between this and the thing above it, I can add some padding. So there we go. So I'm going to unlink all the values so that I can just add top padding and not affect the rest. Then I can add perhaps, I can even add a Google map if I wanted to show my location of business, if that's something that'll interest you. Let's try some social icons. So I'll click on that. I also want to add some padding there so there's some space in between the social icons and the text above it. Style. That's all good. Okay, and then what you can do with social icons is you can put your actual social links there. And you can put your Twitter, you can put your Google+, or you can also add other social links. You can choose that from the drop down over here. So we've got a YouTube account, so I'm obviously going to put a YouTube icon and then link our YouTube channel. As a final example, I can add perhaps a button under that. I'll just drag that in there. Click on that module. Let's center align that one. Let's increase the size of the button. But to make it easy, let's just get one of the existing button styles. Let's copy that. And then let's paste that style here. Center align. I'll add some padding. Perfect. You can make any adjustments you want over there. Change the text color. At the moment it's white on a red background, so it stands out nicely. And you can obviously change what you want the button to say and where you want it to link to. Perfect. Let's update that. Now I'm just going to refresh the website so we can see what we've created there. Another thing we can add is a background there because it's a bit of a fusion between this and the thing above it. So it'd be nice if this area stands out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is click on the buttons over here. Then let's go to style and background. I want to add a classic background and I want to select an image. And for this, let's just select an image from our gallery. If there's one that's appropriate, let's take this one. And what I will do so that it stands out nicely. Now this image obviously is too small for this area that we've selected. So we'll obviously need an image that's appropriate. And if you can't find one, like I said before, go to Unsplash and choose one from there. But I'm just going to give it a shot now. Okay, so you get the point. Instead of an image, what you can also do is just select a solid color. And we can even adjust the color of this thing here. And we'll make that white as well. And we'll give that a little bit of padding. And we'll give this some padding at the bottom. There we go. That's nicely spaced out. So there we are, just an example of how we can add modules. That's obviously a very crude example, but you can obviously make it a lot better by adding a nice background image or just copying an existing module, such as this. We can duplicate that so it exists there. We can rearrange in the navigator. So let's say we want that there. And then we can start editing things so that it looks good. We can just have to, all we need to do is edit the image and edit the text. And this one is an overlay image. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about any of that, just let me know in the comments below. So I decided to center align all of these modules over here and also give the background a darker gradient. So the background overlay, what I did was give it a darker gradient so that the text pops out a little more, and then updated that and refreshed the site, and I think that looks pretty cool now. Perfect example of using an existing module and updating it to make it look just the way you want. It actually minimizes the work you need to put in to create various modules on your page, and this approach can be applied to all of the pages on your website going forward. Alright, so we've created an awesome homepage for our WordPress website, but now I'm going to show you how to add new pages onto your website. I'm going to show you two ways to add new pages. One way is going to be to use a pre-built template, and the second way is going to be using or adding pre-built modules. So I'll show you both methods, and both methods are very, very fast. So to add a new page, just hover over pages and click on add new. And just keep in mind you can add an unlimited number of pages to your WordPress website. There's no limit. Just make sure it's structured correctly, and I'll show you how to do that a bit later on. So add a title to your new page. So say for our example, we've got services. So we want to add a service called consultancy. Let's then, after we add a title, we're not going to use the standard WordPress word editing module. We're going to click on edit with Elementor, as that's the easy way to build our website. Give it a few seconds to load. Alright, so now the first method, and that is importing a pre-built template. So what you need to do is click on the folder icon over here. You'll be able to choose from a number of pre-built templates. The ones that have Pro written in the top right corner, paid templates, the rest are free. So let's just focus on the free ones for now. Let's take this one for example. It looks pretty slick. So what we can do is we can click on the insert button. And now this is where the magic happens. Give it a few seconds to load to import onto your website. It's doing all of this automatically for you. It's going to import that entire web page just as we saw right there. And now it doesn't have to look like this. You can click on any one of these modules. You can click on this thing here. You can change this background image if you like, and you can change all the other bits and pieces like we talked about for the homepage in this very same way. And everything you see here is customizable, from images to the background to the text and also the layout. You can also click on a module. So let's take this module, and you can actually change its structure and layout. It's very, very cool. But what we're doing is using a pre-built template that already looks fantastic and just tweaking it and customizing it to make it look any way you want. It's the quickest way to create a WordPress website that I know of currently. So that's one method. Let me take you through another method. By the way, if I press Ctrl Z or Command Z, it allows me to undo any changes that I've made and get rid of that entire thing. Okay, so now here's the second way to add a new page. Check this out. It's fully customizable using pre-built modules. So now instead of the pages area over here where you can select from a number of pre-built pages, what we're going to do is click on the blocks area. So what this allows us to do is choose from a number of pre-built blocks to add to the page, and then we can go in and customize all of those blocks the way we want. So if I click on the drop down here, first we need a hero block. That is the thing that sits at the top of any page, the big image with big writing, something that captures the user's attention. So let's take this for example, it's a free one, and I can click insert. What that has done is entered or added this entire block onto this page. Now let's go and add a few more blocks. If I scroll down here, I can click on the folder icon again, go to blocks. Now I'm going to repeat this process and add around 4 to 5 blocks so you can see what this thing looks like. And seriously, it's the quickest way that I know. So I hope this is really helping you out in a big way. Okay, let's add a client section. Our clients, let's throw that on. Nice one. What else can we add? Perhaps some services. Okay. And then perhaps a call to action. Something like that. Now don't worry about the colors, that's all customizable. And to top it off, we will add perhaps our team members. That looks all right. And for good measure, some testimonials. Now feel free to have a look through all the remaining modules that I haven't already gone through, because there's some really cool pre-built modules that Elementor gives you ready to go, so you don't have to spend time setting all of it up. So we've added all those modules to the page, but now what? Well, all of this stuff, like I said, is customizable. So say I don't want this dark background on the top module over here. Let's click on those buttons. Let's go to style. Let's go to the background overlay. Actually, the background, okay. Yep, background overlay. We want a classic overlay. We want to add perhaps an image, and I'm going to drag one from my computer and upload that. Insert, and there we go. We've changed that image, and we can also change the opacity. Whatever suits your website. You can also change the text, of course, change the images. Nice one. Change all the colors, for example, etc., etc. I can even get rid of a whole entire block by clicking on the X over there, but I think you get the point. You can even change all of the images here, the text, of course, and the social links. Anything that you need to change, just click on that item and you'll see it come up, and you'll be able to customize that, or even right click and delete that particular thing at any time. So that's the quickest way to create a page. Now let's click the publish button, and then we can preview our changes. There we go. We've created this in as little as a few minutes. With a few tweaks and color changes, this will look fantastic. If you have any questions about any of that, let me know in the comments below. But just for the record, I'm going to go back into the WordPress dashboard and show you what a pre-built template looks like. So let's exit to our dashboard. And then let's create that other page. And then edit with Elementor. And now I'm going to select that pre-built template and save that, just to prove to you that it's easy to set up an entire page in as little as about a minute. There we go. And I'll click publish. And let's have a look at the changes. There we go, brand new page. And it looks absolutely amazing. The easiest way to create pages on your new WordPress websites. By the time you've created all your pages and added them to the menu, I want to let you in on a little nuance that will make a big difference to your website. If you hover over any pages that you've added to a drop-down, you'll see that the URL, or let's go to that in fact, let's go to these two pages. They're both pages under the services parent page. So you may have some parent pages and some child pages. The parent page URL, so services for example, should be your website / whatever that parent page is. Now for the child pages such as consultancy, because it's under that item there, it should be consultancy. However, you'll see the URL is not that, and it's / just consultancy without the services. So that's not ideal. In terms of a website hierarchy, we do not want that. You want child pages of a particular item above it to reflect that they are one level deeper. So how do we do that? Go to any pages that you need to change the URL of. So let's take consultancy as an example. Let's go to edit page. You'll see there's a URL over here. That's the default URL. But what we need to do is go down to the page attributes section. So click on the arrow that opens up the page attributes. Then parent page, select the parent page for this particular item, and in this case it's services, and then click update. You'll notice that this URL is now changed. This page here is now a child page of services. So now when you go to that page, the actual website URL now reflects that proper URL structure. So let's take this one as another example. It's a level deeper than services in this example. So let's edit page. Let's go down, page attributes, parent page, services, update. Now this page also reflects the proper URL structure. So just keep in mind your website hierarchy. Whenever you have pages and subpages, make sure you carefully select the parent page so that your WordPress website's URLs correctly reflect that. So it's great for search engines, and it's also very, very good for your human users as well, because they can see exactly where they are within the hierarchy of your website. So there's a little tip, a little nuance that'll add massive impact to your website's performance and your user experience. So you've created all of these amazing pages, but you can't see any of them in your WordPress menu. So now I'm going to show you how to add those pages into your WordPress website menu. So let's go back into the dashboard. Let's click on that. Let's exit to the dashboard. So what you need to do is go to Appearance and then Menus. The menu structure that comes up here, just ensure that the primary menu is checked. If it's not, do that. But when it is, this is the menu structure of your website at the moment. So Home, About, Services, Projects, Contact. Home, About, Services, Projects, Contact. So now we want to customize this menu. You may have added a whole lot of new pages. So how do we get them on there and manage this menu? So the first thing is we can drag and drop things to any order we want them to appear. And when we do that and click Save, that will take effect on the front end. We can also click a drop down and then remove any particular page we don't want to appear in the menu. When you do this, it doesn't delete the page, it just removes it from the navigation menu. Thirdly, you can go and select pages that you've already created. So I just created one for consultancy and for product management. So I can tick them and add to menu. Currently, if I click Save and then refresh my website, this is the order in which the pages will appear. But you might not want that for the simple reason that product management and consultancy, you can't see it at the moment because there's not enough space, is part of our services. So we want them to appear under the services drop down. So what we have to do is just drag that up to the thing that you want it to appear under and indent that, just like that. So that that becomes a sub item of the page above it, the parent item. Similarly, you can do that with any other pages, and rearranging that order over there allows you to manage the order in which they appear in the drop down. So let's save that menu and I'll show you what that looks like. Perfect. We have this drop down, but not so perfect because this is white and we cannot see the actual words behind it. And that's just a little bit of color management, which I'll get to in a second. But first, the other thing you can do in the menu is also create custom links. So say you want to add a link to a URL, which may not be a page or a post or anything like that, just a random URL. So I'll enter that URL in there and we can call this home. We've already got one, but this is just an example. Add that to the menu. I'll get rid of that. And that's just a custom link to that particular page. You can add a link to any page you want anywhere on the internet. Save that. Alright, so we've customized our menu. However, the drop-down menu is coming up as white. That is because it's a white background and it's white text, so it's all blending in. So what you need to do to fix that is go back into the dashboard and go to Customize, Appearance and Customize. Then go to Colors and Background. Go to the header, Transparent Header. So at the moment it looks like that, but what you need to do is just scroll down and under the sub menu, so this is now a sub menu, we need to change the background color to reduce transparency, and now you can see the words. So I've just reduced this from full transparency to no transparency so you can see the words, or you can make that a solid color. Just for the purposes of an example so it's super clear. That's what I mean. We're going to do what I did for the header. So we want it to be the same as our main menu. So it's black and sort of semi-transparent. So I'm going to click on that sub-menu. This one here, sorry. Black and sort of semi-transparent. Now that should be similar, and it is. If that's still hard to read because of things behind it, all you need to do is increase transparency and that will be crystal clear like that. So feel free to play around with that so that it looks exactly how you want it to look. You can also change the link text color, which is the color of your words over here, and also the hover color. For purposes of an example, let's make that green and let's make the hover reddish. So it's green, now red. But we're going to clear all that because that doesn't look very good. So there we go, we've added a beautiful drop down menu and we've made it super clear. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create or update one of the most important pages on your WordPress website, and that is the contact page. This pre-built contact page looks pretty good, but we can do a lot better. So let's edit this page. Edit with Elementor. I'm going to show you how to use some of the pre-built contact modules or pre-built contact page templates to make yours look much better than it is right now. Alright, so we're going to scroll down, click on the folder, as we've previously done before. Scroll all the way down and look for some contact templates. Okay, this is the one here, it's free and it looks pretty cool, so I'm going to insert that. Now what that will do is it won't get rid of your existing modules, but it will add the new modules down the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is pick and choose the ones that I like. Now I much prefer this header over here as opposed to this one here. So what I'm going to do is copy, paste. Now that that's there, I can delete this one. I like this area here with the form and the contact information. I think that's pretty cool. I can also delete this as I've copied that to the top now. This also looks pretty cool, these three columns here, but for the purposes of this demo, what I'll do is delete that because we don't need that. And in terms of a map, this full width map using the new template looks much better than this one here. So I'm going to delete the smaller one. So now what we've got is a bit of a customized contact us area, and also with a social area over here that can be edited or customized by linking to your social channels at any time. We've got a map here, and what I recommend is you putting your exact place of business over here, your exact address, so that customers can find you very easily and navigate to you, especially if they're using a mobile phone. Perfect. Of course, I'd highly recommend that you edit all of your contact information over here, your email, and any other links if you have them, such as social media links. Otherwise, just delete those individual modules so that they don't appear on the page, and then update that. Click on the update button and we can now view the page. So here we are. Here's what our contact page now looks like. And last but not least, to polish off your brand new WordPress website, I want you to be able to receive messages from all of your customers that visit your website. So how do we customize this form over here? What we need to do is go back into the dashboard and we need to go to contact and contact forms. This form that you're seeing here is created using a plugin called Contact Form 7. So if you go to plugins and install plugins, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you Contact Form 7. That's the plugin that is creating the functionality for us to have a form on our website for your users to fill in and submit. So if I go to contact and contact forms, this is the actual setup of that form. So let's click on that. These are the fields that your form has currently. And you can actually edit the form template by editing these fields over here, or by adding new fields such as telephone. And then you can just click insert tag and that will add that to your form. But I'm not going to do that for now. Here's the important part here, mail. We want it to send to your email address. So make sure you enter your email address over here so that when someone submits that form, it comes to you. We want the from to be the email address that the person who submits the form is using or enters in that box. So that is the your email. When it says your email, it means their email, the customer's email. So let's make it from your email, and subject will be the subject. The reply to will be the email address that your customer enters, and this is the message body. This is what you will receive in your email. Okay, so let's save that for the time being. Now go to messages. When the form's submitted, a notification will come up just to validate that the message has gone through. So you can update that message. Similarly for message fails and validation errors, etc., etc. So let's save that for now. Okay, so now I'm just going to refresh our website. I'm going to load up my email as well, just so I can show you a live demonstration. So test customer at whatever their email is, and they'll leave a message. So let's try that. There's the notification, thanks for your message. And now I'm just checking the email address to make sure that that has been received. There we go. This is the message that I received. And the subject is coming up as your subject. So that's not right. We can configure that in a second. If I click reply, you'll see that the reply to is the customer's email address, which is absolutely perfect. Everything else is fine. The only thing I need to update is this subject. So let's try that again. Let's go back into the configuration, mail, subject. And the reason this has happened is our form on our website doesn't actually have a subject field. So therefore, it is not populated and doesn't come up with anything. So what you can do is add your own thing. So for example, whatever your website's called, so demo, whatever your website's called, customer contact. Saving that, I'll refresh this. Let's try that again. All right. Perfect. There we go. There's the message we received. Now I've received it in my inbox with subject, whatever I've put in there. And that just means that when I reply to the customer, they'll receive the reply with that particular subject. You know exactly where the emails come from, and you can start off communications. So there you go. You now have a fully functioning contact page with a fully functioning web form for all of your customers to fill out on your new WordPress website, and also a map so they can find you easily. It's a very, very effective contact page to get the most conversions out of your website as possible. Any questions about that, please do ask in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. So here we are, guys. That brings us to the end of this tutorial. You now have all of the skills and knowledge that you need to make an amazing WordPress website by yourself, even if you're just a beginner. And most of it was drag and drop and using pre-built templates. Please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we release another awesome WordPress website tutorial. Of course, as always, any questions, ask in the comments below, and until next time, thank you for watching.